part of the Elves Network. We are a bunch of wild and crazy Cleveland Browns fans, bringing you all the latest in Browns news. Tune in now. Fanatical Elves.
Doing? Oh, there's
wow.
my voice again.
Yeah,
It
we had a
repeats
double.
itself.
You were repeating yourself.
You know what it is? I
You
was
were
trying to.
repeating yourself.
I was trying to lower. Jeez. Oh, that's so funny.
Can't hit
Good
the
evening,
post
everybody.
still.
It is Thursday night. It is the Fanatical Elves show. There's Steve Gill. I'm John Stuchan. We really appreciate you following along, watching us here on the the Fanatical Elf Network. We're the Elves Network. I'm trying to read my little shindig below my name. I don't know if people can see that, but boy, Steve, if you just wait 24 hours, or not even that, if you wait an hour, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, you're going to get more news about something.
News.
Lots of it today, and lots of it all week. We've been talking about it on various shows on our network this week. Had some lively discussions with Joel Cade about our favorite beat writer, Tony Grossi. But you know, again in the news, Shedeur Sanders is in the news, Quinshon Judkins is in the news, and now we have a new player by the name of Isaiah Bond who's in the news. Don't forget about Myles Garrett, who's also out there with his 8 speeding tickets. Way to go. # leader, according to Joel Cade. Steve, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. I'm awake. That's a plus.
He's been traveling today. So, and I'm an educator, lifelong educator. So by day, we've been doing a lot of different things. So we're going to keep this show short. So pay attention.
That's
all of
easy
you
for you
brownies
to
out
say.
there. So are you at an undisclosed location, it looks like?
Yes, I'm at an undisclosed location. I'm doing research, investigating things.
He delivers the goods when it comes to all things Cleveland Browns news. He has his ear to the inside of the Browns organization. Does his Dog Pound South podcast, does his blog for Fans First, and all of that. We're changing the name. What is it called? Pro Football Insiders through the Fans First, I think.
I believe so.
Yeah. So, all right, Steve. Today,
where do you want to go first?
Yeah, let's start today with Quinshon Judkins and then Isaiah Bond. Quinshon Judkins, who was our highly picked running back.
Yep.
Has been under investigation and was charged. And was the charges have been dropped today, and now we're kind of waiting to see what happens next. Steve, what do you know, and what do you think about all that?
He will be signed by the Cleveland Browns.
When?
That's it.
Soon?
I hope so. Soon. They need to get him in there, get him up to date, up to speed. Last time we saw him was OTAs, and that was like a century ago. So, yeah, the DA's office down in Florida, the statement was pretty clear.
Yeah.
I don't see an exempt list coming from this because the DA just plainly spelled it out. So, yeah.
So you expect him to play, because I know some people have said externally out there in, La La Land that there's still this NFL case, but like you just said, the courts are saying there's, yeah.
I was told, and I couldn't repeat it because I was asked not to, that when this whole thing went down, and I was told wait till the facts come out. And I found it interesting when Andrew Berry did his media availability. He said, instead of using your typical GM speak, we're going to wait till the investigation is over. He said we're going to wait till the facts come out, which I thought was kind of strange. It caught my ear immediately when he said it. So I was kind of like,
and the facts, some of the information that was shared today indicated that there were photos, but there was video at the same time that did not show the same things that were shown in the photo, which is like,
Right.
okay, there were huge time gaps. There was no independent or witness accounts of any of this, which
Yeah.
supposedly happened at the airport. You'd think that if it was something somebody might have caught their eye, or a camera or
Or a
something.
camera. I mean,
Yeah.
airports, they're,
So
yeah,
obviously,
it's
like you
just,
said, Andrew Barry was waiting for the facts, and those sound like pretty important
and,
facts.
like I said in the beginning, this kid never got in trouble. Um,
Yeah, we've talked about that.
if you're going to blame the Browns for not finding out about this, then you got to blame the other 32 teams in the NFL for not finding out about this. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they investigate every draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
And if something like this was out there, it would have come out before the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody would have found out. And like you said, he's a good kid. Graduated early.
Mm-hmm. Took accelerated classes. I work at a high
Yeah.
school. I work with kids that are going on to college. I know, it takes a lot. It's a lot of pressure. His mom was an attorney herself. Lots of things there. Now there were
Yep.
also people that were coming out after Quinshawn Junkins had all these charges against him initially. They were stupid stories that were coming out that were being fabricated about how he was a bad apple on a team down there at Old Miss, and he was like, which was
I hate
just
to tell you this, if
absolutely, yeah.
anything happened at Ole Miss, I living in Nashville and being a graduate of an SEC school, believe me,
Well,
it would have
yeah,
come out. It would have
absolutely.
come out. I mean, look at the University of Tennessee. They've already had a couple arrests this offseason. Even their
Mhm.
women's basketball team had an arrest. So,
Really?
yeah. Reporters
Wow.
nowadays, they love a juicy story about a state school athlete. They
Hmm.
love it.
Well, I know some details from back in the day when my daughter played hoops too, at her college, and you get these athletes, and we're talking about athletes today, young kids who are really just young adults. They're not even full blown adults yet. I mean, I know they're past the age of 18 and all blah blah blah, but these kids are kids, and these cases that we're dealing with are, you know, relationship based. The other case that's come out, well, the other situation that happened with the Brownies, supposedly they haven't signed them yet, is the undrafted free agent Isaiah Bond, wide receiver out of Texas, who had been highly touted going into the draft, had a charge of some sort of like a sexual assault,
He was arrested a week
arrested,
before the draft.
so it killed his draft
Oh,
status.
yeah. The guy was a late second, early third, probably the ninth or 10 best wide receiver in this past draft.
And all of
One
that
good
went
year
bye
at
bye.
Texas, transferred out of Alabama. A lot of people, said third round because he only had one good year at Texas. The guy is a speed demon, but that also everything dropped. You got to
Right.
also remember, like you were saying, these are young kids, but these young kids, when they head towards the draft, a lot of them are already millionaires because the NIL.
Sure.
Okay, they already got money in their pockets. So, there are people out there that would like to take advantage of certain situations monetarily. And
Absolutely.
I'll just leave it at that.
Sure. So this information you received from whoever that was, your undisclosed sources.
Yeah, he
It,
said, wait till
yeah.
the facts come out. That's all he said. Wait till the
Hmm.
facts come out. That's why I wasn't really worried about it.
Okay.
So, and then when Andrew Barry said we're going to wait till the facts come out, that was a
Now
little bit of a more than a coincidence.
I did share on our X page earlier tonight after this came out. Just, and hear me out, Stephen. I think you'll probably disagree with me. I'm pretty sure you will. But all I'm saying here is I'm not bashing Andrew Barry, but what people are saying tonight is that there are, and I know not every athlete is a saint. I get that. It's just the idea that now, these people are putting Quinshawn Junkins, Isaiah Bond, and Deshaun Watson as a trio and putting them up there with Andrew Barry. And I know that's not fair, but there is this issue of character. And granted, Steve, that these guys were not charged. The cases were dropped.
They
And
were
like you just
charged, but
said,
everything
and
was dropped.
right. And like you said, money and these young kids and other people trying, to kind of work that in. It just, there's some question marks out there again about Andrew Berry and who he's taking. Now, obviously, the wide receiver room is not the best department for Cleveland, and you're getting a kid who's, like
It's
you said,
improving.
probably would have been drafted in the second or third round. So it's
everybody chastised Andrew Berry for not drafting a wide receiver.
So here he is. He got one.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, think about this. If you came out of the Sunday after the draft and the Browns had gotten Mason Graham, Quinshon Judkins, Harold Fannin, Isaiah Bond, and Shedeur Sanders, everybody would be just jumping for joy.
Well, so we got all those guys now. We didn't
you can't really lump these kids in with Deshaun Watson. This is a different era for kids coming out of college. Like I said, these guys are making a ton of money. You guarantee you Judkins got a hefty pay raise from going from Ole Miss to Ohio State.
For sure. That's why
and Isaiah Bond, same with him, going to Alabama to Texas.
Is that where he had started at Alabama then? Okay.
Yeah, he played 2 years at Alabama. And then he had one good year at Texas. So I understand that. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's pretty short than hell. And he definitely will make this wide receiver room better. I mean, you look at the guy before Andrew Berry, John Dorsey. He signed a guy who got arrested for smoking pot, and then he signed an offensive lineman who a couple of years later got arrested for trying to sneak a van full of marijuana across the Mexican border.
Well,
come on.
Speaking of other things that current players are doing, we just talked about smoking pot and everything. A change of an unusual scene, not unusual. Well, it is unusual on the football field. The Brownies and the Philadelphia Eagles practiced. I don't know if you saw this. There's a photo circulating out there this afternoon where the Browns linemen and the Eagles linemen are sharing a brew out on the field.
One of the Eagles guys, Dickerson, brought a cooler full of beer out.
That's tremendous. Just
offensive linemen are just built different, man.
Yeah, a great photo for preseason.
Oh, who cares? I mean, the practice is over. Oh, they're having fun. It's and then after they popped their beers and put them down, they started signing autographs for kids.
Sure.
So the kids were fine with it, and
I have no problem. And I think it was funny. I think it's great.
I mean, great.
Yeah.
By the way, great practice today. I hear from reliable sources that the Browns won the scrimmage today. Decidedly. I'm really encouraged by the starting offensive line these last 2 days. They've held their own, and the defense
Miles, I heard, was everywhere.
Myles Garrett's been in the backfield like all day. He might as well put an offensive number on. That's how often he's in the backfield.
I'll get back to the practices and everything else that's happening with this. And I know you don't think it's a big deal, but Joel and I talked about Miles with this whole thing with the speeding tickets. And I don't like it. And people are going to brush it off and continue, and other people get speeding tickets. But after this kid had a serious car accident where he could have been killed, he's continuing.
Or he could have killed his passenger.
What? Yes, he continues to show just stupid decision making.
Yeah.
Do you have a hard time with this or not? You don't care?
I'm not part of the crowd that's hair on fire.
Okay.
And I'm not part of the crowd that says, boys will be boys. The Browns handled it internally.
Yeah,
I
you
hear
hope
that.
So.
Oh no, they handled it internally.
Good.
So he knows that he needs to stop this crap. I mean, don't worry. They laid the hammer down on him.
Okay.
And before everybody says, well, Stefanski doesn't lay the hammer down. Friday night
Mhm.
when Rayshon Jenkins got kicked out of the game. He was the
Yes,
first person to meet him on the sideline and started talking to him.
it was him.
Kevin Stefanski
Sure.
got in his face.
I know. Yeah.
He did it calmly,
Yeah, he
which is
did.
what you do.
Yeah.
But I guarantee he told him, don't ever do that again.
Hmm. Yeah, you could see the respect. I mean, I watched that engagement. It was interesting. It's interesting too, because then you had these other engagements between like Shador and Miles and joking on the sideline during the game. And then I'm just thinking this week how then Miles goes and speeds at 2:00 in the morning after the game. And I'm just Shador had got the speeding ticket. Like I think it's the same region, right in that same area of I-71
Maybe
in
he was
Strongsville.
chasing Sanders and Sanders got away.
I don't know. Let's keep talking about I want to come back to the preseason. Let's pause for a quick commercial break. This is the Fanatical Elves Thursday night show. We'll be right back. Thanks for returning to the Fanatical Elves show. I'm John Suchan. That's Steve Gill. We're part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of Fans First Sports. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching us live right now on YouTube, X, what else? Facebook. And you're welcome to participate if you're watching us live right now. Chat with us. Send us your questions or your thoughts. We've had that in a couple other shows, but if you are watching, send us your questions. Apple, Spotify, you can download our show later on after we're done with this broadcast. So keep talking about this practice, and you said Philadelphia. They've been practicing with Philly. They got the preseason game on Saturday at 1:00 in the afternoon. Shador yesterday. I know this was big news. He injured his oblique muscle. Stefanski said today that they were going to put him down for a while, which I don't know about the language there, but I get what he's saying. We're going to let him rest. And
yeah, they need to.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know
he's got to play against the Rams. I mean, at the last preseason game, it's at home.
Yeah,
of course he's going to play.
And that's we were all talking about that. Well, and that's the thing, Steve. I guess I want your take, and I'm pretty sure that we'll probably disagree on some of this. But when I was talking to Joel earlier in the week, this whole conversation of Shador and everything, it's gotten to the point where, like, thanks for following us on TikTok. On TikTok, where we put out a video, had a lot of, we talk about clickbait and all this stuff, but we were talking about Shador, and it's amazing the number of people just out there in La La Land who are enamored with Shador. And he's done a lot of good things so far coming into the community early. He's doing these things on the football field last week that were very impressive. A lot of people liked what they saw. And so before the injury happened yesterday, people were saying, and I contended that, 70-80% of the people that are watching the Browns now want to see Shador play. They're not as interested in Dillon Gabriel, even though, Steve, I'm sure you'll probably suggest that, Dillon Gabriel, was drafted higher and is probably just understands the offense even probably better than Shador at this point. I don't know. I just saw this whole aura, this mystique of Shador now that he's injured. Now we're going to see Dillon Gabriel from all my understanding on Saturday.
It'll be Gabriel and Huntley.
So tell me what your thoughts are on all of that. And you said also Shador is probably going to be ready for the game the following week against the Rams.
I hope so. I hear that there's going to be starters on the third game. Select starters. Not all the starters are going to play. It's going to be select starters. And I would pretty much think Flacco is going to start. He'll probably be named the starter next week. He should.
Sure.
I know someone told me that they already saw aspects in the practice on Monday before they left for Philadelphia. They're already starting to put in things for Cincinnati, which is good. As for Sanders, have we gotten to the conspiracy that Andrew Berry held him down while Kevin Stefanski hit him with a baseball bat in the arm? Is that thrown around yet? Because I fully expect it.
I got concerned.
You can't keep a good man down.
I was misunderstanding yesterday when they were talking about the injury. When they said oblique, I was thinking of what's the other the muscle up here in your chest. Is it your pec muscle or whatever they call
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Yeah, and that's a serious. So I was thinking, oh no, like he tore something up here, but it's really just the parts along the
yeah.
side of your rib cage, correct?
Correct.
So
He'll be
yeah,
fine. Yeah,
yeah.
shut him down for a little bit, and that's fine. Now we'll get to see what kind of vanilla offense that
Yeah.
Kevin Stefanski is going to draw for Dylan Gabriel, because he did a really good job of drawing one up for Shedeur Sanders last Friday night. That's something that no one in Cleveland talked about. A lot of national guys talked about it.
Mm,
That Kevin Stefanski really did a good job putting an offense in for Sanders to make him succeed.
mm-hmm.
And that's what a good play
Yeah.
caller does.
He
So I'm going to be
started in the
curious.
shotgun in that game, correct? If I'm not
Yeah, but he
mistaken.
also played more under center than I think he probably did his entire college career.
Now, how do you think? What do you think about that? Joel and I were talking about it because Joel's very, he's played football and all that on the
Yeah.
line, and he basically said that, I mean, Shadeur's come a long way in his
Yes, he
opinion,
has.
but he did say that he has a long way to go, especially
Yes,
with
he does.
the little things like handoffs and the timing on that. That he says you can just, it's so people don't understand, and I understand a little bit because I've coached middle school football, and I know it's not the same thing, but it's the same concepts. The timing on things and getting the snap from to the quarterback to the handoff to everything has to be in
Yes.
line.
You
Yeah.
yeah, you got to sell the defense. You you got to get under center. You got to turn your back to the defense. You have to. That in
Mm-hmm.
the NFL, you got to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're exactly right. The timing has to be perfect between center to quarterback to running back. My biggest complaint, besides the two sacks that were both on him,
Yeah.
my biggest complaint, and this will be my complaint
Mm-hmm.
for the entire season, um, you got to get to the line of scrimmage faster. He's got to call the plays faster. He
Right.
was taking way too much time in the huddle. You got to get up to the line of scrimmage. You got to look and see what the defense is. You got to see where the safeties are. You got to see where the linebackers are lined up. Then you can get your defensive read and you can call your play. The offensive line can get their line call in. Getting up to that offensive, that line of scrimmage with 11 seconds, 10 seconds, that isn't going to cut it. You got to call, and you could see him in the huddle
Yeah.
as he's calling the play. He's like he's reading a couple pages of a book. And my wife will tell you while we were watching, I'm going, got to speed it up, kid. You're going to have to speed it up.
Yes. Joel said the same thing you just said. He basically said in the NFL, if you got to be up to the line with 12 seconds or more. If it's under 12, then you're risking a lot.
Yeah.
And there were several plays that I recall seeing the clock when they got to the line with about 8 or 9 seconds.
This will come with the learning process with him. He's learning a whole new landscape here. It's different to go from high school to college than it is to college to the NFL. Totally different. But he'll learn this. It'll come quicker. It'll come faster. And even he admitted it in his interview that he still has things to work on.
What are your expectations with Kenny Pickett right now? Where do you think
Kenny Pickett is pretty much he's gone. I mean, I don't see how he can even, either he'll be cut or he'll be traded.
You don't see any chance
I watched a little of the Titans game. Cam Ward was He only played 2 series. Brandon Allen was And then the third guy they brought in, I don't even remember his name. He totally sucked. So the Titans could be somebody that's interested. And everybody talks about New Orleans because Kellen Moore was his offensive coordinator in Philly last year. And Tyler Shuck ain't lighting it up.
No, he ain't.
He is not. So I could see the potential of a trade because, like Elliot Cannella always said, our former teammate, that is the most overvalued position on an NFL roster, the quarterback.
There are people out there, other podcasters, platforms, who are supporting or think that Kenny Pickett could be the guy, or that Cleveland wanted him at least to be the guy to start the season?
No.
Okay.
When the trade was made, it was made March 10th.
Yes.
They had DTR and they had Deshaun Watson after his second Achilles tear. That was the quarterback room.
Sure.
That was it. You didn't know what was going to happen in the future. You didn't know if you were going to sign Joe Flacco. You didn't know if you were which quarterback you were going to draft. So,
I mean, taking Shedeur, taking Shedeur Sanders really did shuffle things up, because if they had just taken Dylan Gabriel, then you would have had Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco.
Well, before the draft, everybody kept saying, take as many swings as you can. And guess what? They did.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, but I tend to lean toward what you're saying with Kenny Pickett myself. I'm sure he'll get picked up by another team.
Best ability is availability.
Yes.
And he's just missed. Who knows? They might put him on IR. Stash him over there on injured reserve.
He didn't do any of the team. I mean, he was there this week, but he didn't participate.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I know it's a roll of the dice. Why not? Nothing is certain. They didn't know what is going to happen in April. And so, just protecting themselves.
All right. Well, Steve, any final thoughts before we leave the fine folks of the Cleveland Browns Nation?
I'm just looking forward to seeing what kind of offense is run Saturday afternoon in Philly. I know they're not going to. The Phillies probably not going to put any of their starters in. They'd be silly to do it. The second preseason game. I mean,
someone on the national media was trying to say, well, if Dylan Gabriel comes, it was on the Colin Cowherd show. He was talking about Shedeur's impressive performance last week, but his counterpart was saying, well, if Dylan Gabriel goes in and lights it up against Philly, Philly's a much better team than Carolina. And Cowherd was like, well, they're all backups. So, like, you can't just say that Dylan Gabriel
all of a sudden vanilla offense against vanilla defense.
Sure.
I mean, my thing with watching preseason games, besides no injuries and very few penalties, which the Browns did very well, and also I was very impressed. They were running wide zone the entire game, even with guys that won't even make the practice squad. They were still running a wide zone offense. I love it. But when I look for who starts and who is the first replacement to come in. It really caught me by surprise that Brendan Bates started at tight end instead of Blake Whiteheart. And then also I wondered why Javon Cohen started at one guard position. I thought that was interesting. But then you see who comes in right after the initial starters come back. That tells you what the coaches think of these guys. So playing me off.
No, I'm not.
And I also like to thank my agent and that one person that will always be in my life, my wife. But anyway.
Now, do you want to? I don't know. Are you gonna be around here Saturday to do a pregame show for the Fanatical Elves? Or
I don't know. Okay. Probably not.
Okay, sounds good. We will have a pregame show.
But I will have a show on Sunday morning.
He will be there Sunday. Dog Pound South podcast.
I'll do my dog impressions.
Ooh.
Like Donald Sutherland did in Kelly's Heroes. Anybody who knows good movies knows
yes.
That's my
Everybody, thanks for following us. Thanks to Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. They shake the hand of the farmer. Great coffee. Go purchase them. Their website is on our X page. Thank you, all of you who follow us here on the Fanatical Elves Network. We're going into our third season for the Brownies. We love all the support we're getting. We're growing our brand on various platforms like TikTok now, YouTube, and Instagram. So follow along there. We're the Elves Network. Steve, have a good night.
You too, John. And everybody, go Browns.
I'm playing this for music for you, Steve.